Okay, so I'm going to show you in normal speed first, and then we're going to slow it down and break it apart. So even here, you can kind of see I'm dipping towards my passe leg a little bit. That's always been kind of a common issue for me. It's one of my little habits that I've always been working to fix. I feel like my shoulders are even, but when I slow it down and break it apart, I'm dipping towards the leg. So let's put it in slow motion now. So as you can see, my right shoulder is going that way, and we don't want that. We want to lift up out of the torso here. So I need to separate my rib cage from dipping towards that passe leg. So you need to extend that side and lift up taller. And I also need to feel that left shoulder and shoulder blade pulling down on a diagonal this way. So I really have to emphasize that left shoulder pulling back down on the diagonal. All right, so let's keep playing it. So by the end of the turn, I kind of fix it a little bit, which is why I'm able to lift and hold a little bit better, is because by the last two rotations, I'm not totally even, but as you can see, this left shoulder here is already pulling down that way a little bit better, and there's more of a length in that working leg side, but it's not perfect. You know, I could pull that left shoulder down even more, so I'm totally even in the shoulders going across, but it's a lot better than it was in the earlier rotations. And let's kind of go into the rib cage a little bit. So let's rewind. Let's go from the side profile. Rib cage is actually looking pretty good. Sometimes what happens is we get a little bit of a kind of a sway back going on there, but my tailbone's pretty down. My passe leg, or the toe connect to the passe, this here, it could be a little bit more attached, but just by attaching the passe to the supporting leg, make sure you don't sickle that foot. The rotation is good on the supporting leg. Oops. It's my left foot. I always like to kind of hang back a little bit, so I could be slightly more towards that big toe. Rotation's pretty good. Kind of by the last two rotations, I really lock everything into place. So what I need to think about is getting that nice and solid in the first two rotations versus the last two. So then my pirouettes can be even more solid.